So, everybody who's joining, everybody who's watching, we're gonna get started in a second. I guess I'll let a couple more people get in here before I get started, so that they don't have to catch it on the playback. Give it a few more minutes, then we'll get checked in. Hopefully, y'all can hear me loud and good. All right. I know what. Let's get going. They'll catch up. Everybody who can watch this on the playback can watch this on the playback, and everybody who's here will catch me now. So, first things first. All right. What is skinny fat? Today's topic is about skinny fat workout tips. Okay? Give y'all tips about being skinny fat, and it's not just as cut and dry as it seems. It's not just like, oh, trying to lose weight, I'm skinny fat now. Oh, this is the way I always was, I'm skinny fat. Like there could be numerous factors that go into it, and I'll break it down. You'll believe me because like once I start naming them out, you'll say, oh, okay, I fit into this category. Oh, okay, I fit into this category. It's not just all, you know, skinny fat is created equal with nothing like that. Okay. So, what is skinny fat? Today, we're going to talk about how to lift, what to do, and the supplement thing, like supplements to take, whatever, like that, for this specific body type. Because this isn't like I'm a slim, trim person trying to grow and to put on more mass, and this also isn't just like a big person who's wanting to lose weight. We're somewhere in between right now. So with this in between, you can go left, you can go right. Sometimes it's just like, well, what am I supposed to do? How can I ever look like this? And I'm here. So we'll talk about all three factors, okay? But skinny fat pretty much means that you don't have any definition in your body. And so you may look good with your clothes on, but when you take your clothes off, there's no real muscular symmetry, okay? Muscular symmetry. Now you may have symmetry, and depending on if you're a woman, you may carry it and you just may look good, but really there may be no muscle underneath the skin that you're seeing. So there's not any real tight muscle. You can't flex. You can't you're not very strong. And on top of that, a lot of times when you do your BMI test or those body fat tests or something like that, like the caliper ones or like the handheld ones, you'll see that you'll still have a higher body fat percentage, even though your body looks good in the mirror, whatever like that, or looks good inside of clothes, but your body fat percentage can still be high because of the lack of muscle that you have and that you should be carrying. Okay, so that's another thing. You may not be strong when it comes to lifting or doing any exercises. You may look decent but can't perform. You may not be able to do a certain amount of push-ups, pull-ups, or anything like that, dips. You can't really lift weights like that. You don't have that strength. You know what I'm saying? Like you just kind of stuck. I've worked out with guys before, even training people, and you put them under something or put them under a weight that you think should be easy. Like, okay, go ahead, knock out 5 of these. This should be nothing, and they can't even move it. And it's like you can't move this. Like this is lightweight. You know what I mean? So sometimes people just come from a standpoint of having that type of body where they haven't done anything before with their muscles, and so their muscles don't have any reason to be working, or maybe they just been sitting down for a long period of time playing video games or something. You know what I mean? But it could be a number of reasons why, and maybe it just could be your genetics. But what it means is that it's just a standard average body, doesn't have any form, no particular shape. All right, that's what skinny fat is. Now, let's get into the reasons. Okay, I'll break it down, and hopefully I can be swift about this. So some of the reasons are your demographic. Okay, and I know that sounds kind of crazy, but depending on where you're from, you may be more prone to having like that skinny fat body type. And I don't know why, but it may be like foods in your culture or something like that. I know that in the past when I was training or even like working out people, there was a lot of like Ethiopians, Eritreans, stuff like that. And they would like I would do their body fat test or do the calipers and be training them and stuff, and they didn't look bad. Like even the women, they look great, but when you do the measurements and see what's going on inside of there or make them actually perform a certain thing for whatever reason, that demographic, whatever like that was having the same situation, you know what I mean? And it was just this kind of like softer, pudgier skin. There was no real muscle underneath it. It was just soft, you know what I mean? And what that was, it just was no definition. And so that could come from, just the culture that you're from, your demographic, and now you got to work a little bit harder, or it come from the certain foods that you eat. Okay. It could be genetics, uh, and you're not doing any activity to enhance your genetics to work against it. So, like for example, because you just look decent, you like, okay, well, I never worked out before, I don't do anything. You just don't do anything, and so now since you never did anything to enhance your body, versus and you never did nothing to make it any worse, you kind of just stay stable in between, not really doing nothing. Then that's a reason too to be you just kind of like sitting still, okay, and not have done anything. Or the other thing that could have happened is that you could be like a cardio addict. And a lot of times, people who do a bunch of cardio wanting to lose weight, they come from, being a heavy size and think that, okay, I'm gonna start doing cardio and I'll run, run, run. And then they lose all of this, this body fat or this weight, so to speak, and the weight itself isn't really like it didn't do anything for the muscle because when you run, or when you're doing a lot of cardio, you're not working your muscle, you're not getting sore, so you're not working your muscles, right? And so if your muscles aren't breaking down, then what are you actually burning off? You thinking you're burning fat, but you're really just burning like calories and some fat. But you're also burning muscle because you're not using that muscle to lift and to make it grow and to tear it down and feed it so that it can get stronger. So all you're doing is running with this heavy body weight and on these weak bones that aren't supported by strong muscles because the muscles are getting worked, maybe running a little bit, but for the most part, that's just quads, and then it turns into endurance, and that can that's not very healthy in a sense. And so then you come down, and what happens was that your yes, your weight went down, but your fat cells kind of just shrunk down, and you'll notice that as soon as you stop doing cardio, you'll start gaining weight right back. And so because of that, like that lets you know right there that, that's what the skinny fat is. You're kind of just hanging in the balance of if I do my cardio, then I'll maintain this weight. But you can never you can't let your foot off the gas on the cardio, because if you let your foot off the gas on the cardio, you'll start gaining the weight right back because you never really got rid of the fat cells anyway. So now you got this conundrum of, okay, I'm skinny fat, but I do a lot of cardio just to maintain this shape. And I'm just trying to, but that's not the way to be anyway. Okay. So here's what to do. All right, here's what to do. We'll get into the nitty gritty of how you can fix this. Okay, so 5 tips, and I think I said earlier before, but about the food thing, but I'll get into it some more about eating the wrong foods, but I'll get into it a little bit right now. Okay, so what to do? The first thing you got to do is you have to conquer your body weight. That's standard. Like you got to conquer your body weight because there should be no reason that even if you're going to start working out, now we're on a workout channel, so I'm telling you stuff about exercising. So assuming you're going to get ready to start exercising, not just like watching this video like, oh yeah, I can't stand being skinny fat, you know what I'm saying? Then not doing nothing about it. But if you're going to actually go start working out, what you have to do is you got to conquer your body weight first because nobody knows what your body looks like because your body is just a blank slate. It's not in shape. It's not out of shape. It's just blah. You know what I'm saying? It's just there. So because of that, you got to make sure that you conquer your body weight. So you got to start off with doing like, your push-ups. That's mandatory. Like your pull-ups, mandatory. Your dips, mandatory. Like your squats. You can do leg stuff. Like if you want to go in there and work out in the gym and do actual leg workouts, fair. You know what I'm saying? Like ab stuff, no. You can do hanging leg raises or something like that. But the problem is that if you start working out with weights, all you're going to do is just expand that shape that you have right now, and that's not what you want. You don't want to expand a skinny fat body on it. It's going to be a skinny fat shape on a larger frame, and that's not what we're looking for. So in order to avoid that, you have to conquer your body weight first. And what I mean by conquering your body weight is volume. Like you got to be able to do reps and reps on reps. Like if you can do 100 pull-ups, 200 pull-ups, even like 2-3 days a week, working out in the morning, like doing your pull-ups and your dips and stuff like that as often as you can, just so that you can finally start seeing some type of symmetry in your body. Because there's no reason that you should be doing bench pressing or something like that, or like shoulder pressing or something like that. That's nothing. That's gonna get you nowhere slowly, and so leave that alone. Conquer your body weight first and do as much as you can, many reps as you can. Volume is the key. Okay. The second thing you can do is stop eating such oily and fatty foods. And that's what I was meaning about those cultures. Like sometimes, you'll learn that they eat a lot of beans and like lentils and like a lot of certain like tofu, like soy products and stuff. And all those things are high fatty, keep you pudgy, like your muscle doesn't really need it that much, like a lot of potatoes and stuff, or like, like a lot of Indian food type things, like all of that stuff, high sauces, like, what I'm saying? Like that stuff, you can't live like that. And your body can't digest all those things. Most of your food is sauce, you know what I mean? Like all of that, that's no good for you. So you got to make sure that you stay away from those oily, fatty foods, stuff that your body can't burn off and digest, like excess things, like stay away from that because that's keeping you in that shape now. And so you got to do anything to get out of that shape. You know what I mean? Like you just can't stay there. Um, the third thing is don't turn into a cardio addict if you're not already. So don't start looking to do a bunch of cardio thinking that, okay, if I do a bunch of cardio, then I'll get off whatever this layer of fat is and I'll get extra skinny so that I can see this muscle up underneath it. It's not there. It's not there anyway. So don't waste your time being a cardio addict. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not important. So don't turn into a cardio addict. You can do your fasted cardio and you can do your high intense interval training. Like you want to do your HIIT training and just do like, your fast for 2 minutes, then a walk for a minute, fast run for 2 minutes, walk for a minute, fast walk for 2 minutes, run for a minute. Like you can do something like that. Those things would be good, and do that for like a time of 35 to 40 minutes. And you don't have to even run. You could just fast walk, just to the point where you get your body sweating and exercising and getting some of that bacon off you. So try that first. And then the fourth thing is lift weights for strength. Okay, lift weights for strength. Don't worry about lifting to see how you're going to look. Keep your baseline with the body weight stuff, and then add in weights after you've kind of conquered your body weight, and use the weights for strength so that you can now start being able to slowly graduate into other stuff. Because you don't want to lift weights too soon. That's my whole point about this. Like lifting heavy and all this other stuff too soon is not the move at all. Like all you're gonna do is stay looking the same way you did for years, and that's not what we're trying to get. Like you gotta scrape the fat off. You know what I'm saying? So maybe some stuff, maybe lifting weights that you're doing, cleaning presses or something like that. Okay, fair. Like you do some stuff that's for that, but when you start doing bodybuilding and things that are isometric movements, you just in there doing biceps, like that's not gonna help you at all. Like you're in there just doing chest presses and rows like that, that's not enough. Like you got to do exercise that incorporate so many different parts just so that you can start to see what your shape should look like in the first place. So make sure that you add the weights in there, like the weight stuff, just so that you can get a little bit stronger. So if you incorporate in there, okay, fine, but always keeping your baseline body weight stuff first. So for example, you're doing your arms that day, right? Instead of you being a person that's gonna say, okay, I'm gonna go start off doing biceps. No, you're gonna start off by doing 100 total reps of close grip bicep pull-ups, close grip pull-ups. That's gonna work your biceps in the shape that you want. That's gonna work the main head of your biceps anyway. But the key is that you're also pulling your own body weight. You're swinging up there. You're trying to stabilize yourself. You're incorporating multiple muscle groups, different muscle fibers. You're working your lats a little bit. You're working your abs by trying to stabilize yourself. You're working your neck by straining your traps. You're doing all of that. When you're just working biceps, all of it, and doing curls, all it is isometric movements, just here to here, and nothing else is involved. Maybe a little bit of core from trying to stand up straight, but that's not enough. So it's better to work your core from trying to hang than it is from trying to stand up, because you stand up all day long. So make sure that you can do those pull-ups first, and after you bang out the pull-ups, then you go do your curls and say, okay, now I can do my, whatever set of whatever on my curls afterwards, but not warming up with that first. Do your pull-ups first, body weight first, weight stuff separately. And this is only after you've conquered your body weight. Let me reiterate it. Conquer your body weight first with no weights. Gradually add in weights after you've conquered your body weight. Because if you don't, you're going to be a bigger, pudgier version of yourself. And that's no good. All right. So y'all keep it in mind. And the fifth thing is chill out with the supplements so much. Don't do any fat burners. And don't do any like raspberry ketones. Stay away from that stuff. That raspberry ketone stuff, that's one of those things that'll work like cardio. It'll shrink your fat cells, but then as soon as you get off of it, it'll blow them right back up. And so you never really got rid of it. The way to burn fat, just so that everybody knows, is you have to have muscle that wants to eat away at your current fat. And then you stop eating new fat stuff. So whatever fat you got on your body, you start working out, you get sore, you tear it down. As you start to recover and you're not eating no more new bad fatty stuff, whatever fat's in your body still is going to start getting taken advantage of by this muscle that you're growing. Okay, so that's how it works. Like, don't get all scientific and twisted. You got to do this many pounds for this. Like, baseline, if we was talking to a little kid and trying to explain it, that's how you explain it. You know what I mean? So simply put, don't add in all that extra fatty, oily stuff, those sauces and seasonings and all the other stuff that's extra calories that you can't really burn off. Same thing, like if you drinking, you having a certain amount of liquor, like, okay, drink your liquor straight. But if you sit here drinking your liquor and it's mixed and it has all these, you drinking beer and stuff like that, you can't burn off beer in the gym. So make sure you're being careful with that. You can't work off those calories, like whatever that is, like you're not working that off. So be careful with that. That's going to sit in you. So if you're working out and then you having more of that than eating clean, it's no good. It's not going to work, and you'll stay the same. You'll just be a bigger version of yourself. And so that's the key. I just want y'all to really know, don't go lifting heavy when you don't look like nothing. Like, you got to have a foundation first. Once you build your foundation, then you can start adding weights. If you add in weights before you got a foundation, you need a bigger version of whatever you are right now. And that's not cool at all. So once you do that, get out of the skinny fat zone, start feeling muscle. You start actually understanding what your body looks like, and you starting to get some shape. You've conquered it. Now you can start, freaking your workouts and doing stuff and starting to work out to get your shoulders wider and your chest bigger and your waist smaller and your quads bigger and, your hamstrings and calves and all. Now you can get into that type of stuff, but not from the skinny fat coming from scratch. You look like a block. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going from this to overnight. It's not happening. And you're not going to get there by just doing no heavy weights fast. Like, that's not it neither. So keep that in mind. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something today. I hope, if you did learn something, or if you know somebody who this can benefit, go ahead and run your mouth and tell them, hey, this is what I know. This is what I learned. And if you did, then I'm sure that person will appreciate you too. So don't save all the good information for yourself, especially if you sat here for 10 minutes listening to me. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something. I got some great things in the works for myself, and I want to make more videos, and I want to make some more stuff. I got things to do. I've been working on putting my size back on, so that's coming along beautifully. My programs are all still coming. Please subscribe to my Instagram channel. I don't know why I wasn't able to post any of my reels and stuff this week on Instagram. Like, it's got a glitch. I don't know what happened, if they got like some type of update or whatever like that. But normally when I post my reels, like my clips from these videos, what I'll do is I can enlarge them so that the whole face can be in there, and I can put the words across the screen so you know what I'm saying. But for whatever reason, every time I tried to enlarge it and then save it and move on, it made the screen this whole picture. So y'all see like my computer and my picture and stuff like that. All that was in the frame, and all I need really is just the white part that's in between us. So I don't know what happened. Anyways, I'll figure it out. But that's what it was. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something in this video. I will see y'all next week. Any topics that you guys have, any questions or concerns you got that you want me to go over or address in another video, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and hopefully I can get around to them. I hope y'all appreciate my stuff. Hey, Yoli, I'll get to your question next week, all right? I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks for watching.